The day has come. Princess Leonor walks down the aisle in Copenhagen. Everyone expected a royal announcement, but no one expected this. For months, Europe believed Princess Leonor of Spain was simply preparing quietly for her future as queen. But today, that quiet expectation has been shattered. Because in the heart of Copenhagen, something far more powerful, far more personal, and far more historic is underway. Forget the headlines you've heard. Forget the predictions. The truth is far more unbelievable than anything the world imagined. And it begins with a single moment: Princess Leonor walking down the aisle in Copenhagen. For a continent used to royal protocols and perfectly timed traditions, this sight feels almost unreal. Yet here it is, unfolding in real time. The future Queen of Spain, stepping into a new chapter not just for herself, but for an entire monarchy. And what makes this even more extraordinary is the quiet storm happening behind the scenes. Because while the cameras show elegance, unity, and flawless royal glamour, the real story is layered with questions, surprises, and tensions that no one wants to admit publicly. But to understand why this day matters so deeply, we must step back. Not years, just months. Because that's when everything began to shift. When Princess Leonor started appearing in Denmark more frequently than anyone expected. When royal watchers began whispering. When Spain's monarchy found itself balancing between tradition, diplomacy, and a young woman's right to choose her own future. And today, as she takes each graceful step down that historic Danish aisle, those whispers have transformed into global shock. Why Copenhagen? Why now? And why in such an unexpected, emotionally charged way? These questions form the first curiosity loop of this story, and the truth is both simple and unbelievably dramatic. Denmark wasn't just a location. It was a symbol, a connection, a place where strict royal expectations dissolve into something more human, more intimate, more personal. A place where Princess Leonor could be more than the future Queen of Spain. She could simply be Leonor. As the ceremony begins, the atmosphere vibrates with anticipation. You feel it in the way the crowd leans forward. In the way international media clusters outside Amalienborg Palace. In the way Spanish reporters glance nervously at one another, unsure what this moment means for their monarchy. And at the center of this storm, King Felipe VI stands tall, projecting calm authority while carrying the emotional weight of witnessing his eldest daughter step into a future he both supports and silently fears. Queen Letizia, meanwhile, remains a picture of grace, but every camera captures the same thing: her eyes. They reveal a storm of emotion few royal mothers ever display in public. Pride, worry, love, and something else, perhaps the knowledge that today's union reshapes Spain's royal map in ways the world will spend years discussing. But as Leonor reaches the altar, another curiosity loop opens. Because this isn't just a wedding. This is a moment that challenges centuries of royal expectations. A Spanish heir marrying in Denmark is not unprecedented. But a Spanish heir choosing to have such a deeply personal ceremony outside her homeland. That is something else entirely. Something that merges tradition with independence. Duty with choice. Crown with heart. And here's where things take a fascinating turn. The Danish royal family plays a far bigger role today than anyone predicted. Their presence, warm and unmistakably protective, speaks volumes. It hints at alliances, at strengthening ties between two historic monarchies. At conversations held quietly, behind palace walls, away from cameras and political debates. Some analysts believe Princess Leonor's connection to Denmark runs deeper than friendship. That her bond with the Danish royals began long before Europe noticed. That today is the result of years of genuine connection that no one outside those palaces fully understood. But just when the audience thinks it understands the story, something unexpected happens. A messenger enters discreetly, a whisper among the aides, a subtle but visible shift in the energy near the front rows. And suddenly, attention turns toward Queen Margrethe's seat. Because she's reacting, slightly, but unmistakably, to the message passed to her. What did she hear? Why now, in the middle of such a monumental moment? Another curiosity loop opens, pulling the audience deeper. While the ceremony continues with perfect elegance, the undertones grow more intriguing. Political commentators note the timing. Royal historians observe how this wedding blends Spanish and Danish traditions more seamlessly than anyone predicted. And every few minutes, a new question rises: is this union just a marriage, or is it signaling a new era of European royal alliances? But beneath all the speculation, the emotion remains the anchor of this day. Princess Leonor's calm presence radiates a maturity well beyond her years. Her expressions, her movements, her poise, they speak of responsibility, but also of genuine happiness. And this is where the narrative deepens. Because for all the political implications, all the royal expectations, all the public curiosity, this is still a love story. A story born from shared experiences, quiet travels, mutual respect, and something even deeper, the rare freedom to choose a partner who understands what it means to belong to a monarchy under global scrutiny. Yet, even in this beauty, there is tension. Some factions in Spain have voiced concern. Some political groups question what a royal marriage outside national borders represents for the future of the crown. Some commentators whisper about internal disagreements. And while none of these elements overshadow the magic of the day, they do create an invisible layer of complexity behind every smile, every nod, every ceremonial vow. As the couple exchanges rings, another twist emerges. Cameras capture an unexpected guest, someone rarely seen at public royal events, whose presence carries enormous symbolic weight. It immediately sparks commentary. Why were they invited? What role do they play? And what does their appearance imply about future royal collaborations? Another curiosity loop forms, drawing viewers deeper into the unfolding royalty drama. Then comes the moment that changes everything. The blessing is complete. The audience rises. But instead of exiting through the expected royal route, Princess Leonor and her groom take a different path. A quieter one. A symbolic choice. A message. And Europe begins buzzing. What does this mean? Was it planned? Is it a signal of independence from strict tradition? Royal analysts quickly note the deeper meaning. The chosen path leads past Danish historical symbols tied to unity, diplomacy, and international cooperation. It's subtle but powerful, and immediately sparks debate. The message is clear: the future Queen of Spain is stepping into a new chapter defined not just by heritage, but by connection. As the reception begins, new emotional layers unfold. King Felipe VI delivers a speech filled with unexpected vulnerability, sharing memories of Leonor's childhood that reveal just how deeply today's moment affects him. Queen Letizia follows with words that feel both protective and profoundly loving. And then, the Danish royal representatives deliver a message so warm and so symbolic that it sends royal watchers across Europe scrambling to analyze what it means for future alliances. But just when everything seems settled, the final twist arrives. News breaks, quietly at first, then rapidly spreading across social platforms, that there is one detail the palace has not yet explained. A detail connected to the ceremony planning. A detail involving a private meeting between both royal households weeks earlier. A detail the public will soon demand answers about. And this opens the final, biggest curiosity loop of all. Because while the world watches Princess Leonor begin her first dance as a newlywed, Spain asks one question: what agreement was made behind closed doors, and why is no one talking about it yet? The story is far from over. In fact, today might only be the beginning. Subscribe for more royal updates.